Happy
Hello,
Tuesday.
Deb. All right. You got me that time. You got me.
How's it going? Happy New Year.
Huh?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well. We're recording on January 2nd. So fresh off the new year, the first episode of 2024. It's very exciting. And it's probably going to be exactly the same as 2023. So if you've expected anything different from this podcast, don't hold your breath because it's going to be about the exact same thing. That being said, we are redoing this one because our previous attempt at this was not great. So,
Yeah, it's okay. New year, new me. So,
oh, that's a joke for an episode that you won't hear, but I do not like that she said that. So,
you know what? Another quote I was thinking of that I almost posted. So the episode that you guys didn't hear, we were saying like the cringe, New Year's quotes that people always, say or type on their stories. But I almost typed out "Peace out, 2023."
oh man, I wish you would have. I wish you would have. Maybe I would have kept the last episode because yeah, we've like Deb said, we found an article. Would you have done it just like that?
Yeah, I would have gone like this. I do some of my poses like this, and I was gonna go "Peace out, 2020."
I'm just curious. Why is it? Why do you put the peace sign on your head? What's that about?
I don't know. I saw one girl did it one time. I was like, that looks cute. So I was like, I'm gonna do it.
Okay, fair enough. I appreciate that was a very concise explanation for why you do that. I can't argue with it. It makes sense. So
Peace.
yeah, we just went through some of those things. We found an article that went through, like you said, the cringy sayings or things that people post. Some of it, some of it was dumb. Like I think it's cringy when people post firework pics. Like, who cares? Doesn't matter. Some of the sayings made more sense. But anyways, we're not gonna make you guys listen to that again because it wasn't very good the first time. So we're gonna take it in a different direction.
Yeah.
But before we jump into the episode, I apologize for my voice. I sound like a frog because my throat. So I apologize if. Well, that being said, that makes it seem like I have a great voice to begin with. If you don't like my voice, maybe it's better. And if you thought this was annoying or used to be annoying, then this is probably going to be worse. So, um, but all that being said, Deb, how was your New Year's?
It was great. I celebrated in San Diego with some friends. So it was a lot of fun. We did some bar hopping, and then we did on New Year's Eve, we did like this yacht, like boat little cruise. It was just like a couple hours long and just went around the harbor and stuff. And that was like okay. We were kind of disappointed. It wasn't like as like cool as we thought it was going to be, and it was crowded, and it was they the fine like there were three levels. I have to explain it. So on the boat, there's like a top deck where you can go outside, and then there's the main deck, and then there's like a bottom deck. So there's three levels. And it had advertised there's a DJ on the main deck and a DJ on the bottom deck. We're like, cool, two DJs. And it's like open bar, snacks are and foods, and not dinner, but like foods included. Well, you can buy a VIP thing, but that's for dinner only. We're like, we're gonna eat dinner somewhere else before. We don't need to upgrade to eat more food. Like, we'll just take the snacks that are already available, whatever. What we didn't read was that VIP ticket with the dinner was for the bottom deck, and you can't go down there at all. So we thought we had access to three floors. We get there, we find out we only have access to two floors. It was a little more crowded than we thought. It was only like a 2.5 hour thing. It went by very fast.
That is pretty quick.
Yeah, and it was kind of like it feels like we're at a bar anyway. Why did we need to pay to go on a boat to just, like it was cool to go outside to watch the fireworks, but we could have done that anywhere. So we were kind of like, we won't do that again. We actually had more fun the 2 nights before that, just bar hopping and just being out and about in different areas of San Diego. So we're like, it's okay. Lesson learned. We didn't
There you
need to
go.
do the, but I mean, it was fun just being with some friends. And so, yeah, that was
Cool.
my years. Yeah, it was
I'm gonna
fun.
be honest with you, based on your past history and finding yourself in bizarre, strange situations. When you said you went on a boat, in my head, all I could picture was that you went on some dude's boat. He's like, "Hey, I have a boat. You guys want to hop on here?" And you're like, "Yeah, that sounds fun." He's like, "I have drinks too." I'm like, "Cool." And then this guy had like an eye patch and a hook, and then took you out to a remote part of San Diego, never to be seen again. That's just so you know, that's where my mind goes. And I'm sure some of our listeners are thinking the same thing. It's like, oh, I got on a boat, probably with some strange guy, and barely made it back alive. So I'm glad that you went with a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it, past myself to be like, hey, that might sound like a good idea. But then my friends were with me, so they kind of would reel me back in. So
Oh, there you go. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. It's like, yeah, he's got a hook. It's not that. It can't be that bad. I'm sure he's a nice guy, as he's like waving me over with his hook. Like, come here. I would love to take you on my boat. So
I,
that's just how I see you, you know,
that probably would have been more fun than the yacht
kind
boat.
of sounds like it.
So
He probably would have let you go to any deck you wanted.
probably.
Yeah. No VIP pass there. So,
We ended up scoring the bracelets anyway, because one of the girls that I didn't do it. Well, one of the girls that we were with, she's just like, is very social and talks to people. She just walks up to us and she's like, I got us bracelets. We're like, how? And she's like, I just got us bracelets. I just started talking to someone. And we went down there and we found out we're like, it's not so great down here either. So like the whole thing was just like, we're like, man, we won't do this again. It's fine.
if you don't mind me asking, we don't need to say the name of the boat, but how much did this cost?
It was 170.
Okay, so that's expensive enough to be bummed
It,
out.
well, and she and one of the girls, she's done it before years ago. And she was like, this is not how it used to be. She's like, they definitely limited it. And like, basically, this is a ripoff. And because she was the one who like suggested it, like, this is a cool thing. There's all these levels. Like, she walked up and she's like, where's coat check? And they're like, there's no coat check. And she's like, what? So like her expectations were up here because she went on one of the boats like before COVID. And so she was like, I'm sorry, guys, this sucks. I'm so sorry. And so we were like, it's fine. We tried it. Yeah, it wasn't worth it that much. It was definitely, if we like, let's say it was like $80 or whatever, because it was open bar and there were snacks and stuff, then that would be like, yeah, let's go. But for how much we paid, no, it wasn't worth it.
Gotcha. Is there anything worse than being the person that brags about something or hypes something up, and then when you get there, it either completely changes or it's not as dope as you thought it was, because it was like, so as I did this like 10 years ago. And then like I feel like when you're in that position, and I'm not saying she did this, but it sounds like to a certain extent, like I feel like you spend the majority of your time trying to justify or explain. No, 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 like before it was really cool, or they've changed some things. Like it's the worst feeling in the world. I've been there before where you hype something up and then it doesn't meet the expectations. Nothing worse.
She was so disappointed. She was like, what? She was just irritated. We had never been, the rest of us. So we're like, whatever. She's like, no, you guys, this is not how this used to be. This is very disappointing. And so we were
Yeah,
like,
that's a
it's fine.
bummer.
We're already here, whatever. So
Still,
yeah.
yeah, that's not a fun place to be. I get that.
Yeah. Did you celebrate regular time, or are you an East Coaster celebrator where you go to bed at 10?
No, no, no. I'm a night owl
Oh,
anyways. So uh yeah, even going to bed at midnight right after the celebration would be very early for me. So um yeah, no, I was up late. The kids weren't up late, but yeah, I was up late and yeah, we had a good time. Pretty simple, didn't go on a boat. But yeah, very just calm, relaxed New Year's Eve. So not bad.
nice. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's all I have to report. Nothing exciting, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. So
Very
yeah.
cool.
Um, and we talked about this a little bit. But before we get into it, well, you know what? No, actually, mind. Let's just jump into our list. So we decided that we would do some of our favorites of 2023. Initially, Deb and I had talked about putting it out there on Instagram, but as some of you know, hopefully you know at this point, we're currently on the first day of our uh, guest of the year tournament on Instagram. It is happening right now, round one. And so a lot of votes coming in, a lot of close races. So by the time you guys hear this, we will have already crowned someone the 2023 guest of the year. So that being said, didn't want to add more to the craziness. So I ended up not putting out a question for everybody to give us ideas or suggestions for their favorite things of 2023. So here we are, just doing it on our own. So similar to how we've done things in the past, I tossed out three different prompts, and then Deb also tossed out three different prompts, and we answered those. Um, so we have a total of six different topics or our favorite things of 2023. So we thought it'd be fun just to run through that real quick at the start of this new year, and then yeah, a few more things to talk about at the end, and then we'll be out of here. So,
Yeah.
Ms.
Sweet.
Deb, would you like to start with one of them?
Yeah. Do you want me to do one of, doesn't matter which one?
No, it doesn't matter.
I'll just start with one of your questions. So favorite movie. So I wrote down two. It was hard. This one was hard for me, and I was really trying to think because I'm not a sit down and watch a movie type person.
Right.
Um, I my attention span, by the time I sit down to watch something, I'm on my phone and then I fall asleep, blah, blah, blah.
You're a
Um,
TV show person. I think we've talked about that before. TV shows are your thing.
yeah, but even then I don't even get through a TV show either.
Yeah.
So um it's either it has to be in a movie theater or I'm sitting down with friends and we are specifically watching a movie. So The Little Mermaid.
Okay.
And I remember I'm like, did I see that this year? Like I'm getting the year all mixed up. I had to think really hard. Yeah, so it was in theaters, I think over like this past summer, actually, or right before summer. So the new Little Mermaid, I thought it was so cute. I think it's hard sometimes when Disney like cartoon movies are remade with in real life actors. I loved it. Some people are like, man, it was okay, and some people loved it too. But I thought it was really cute, and I think they did a good job with the whole thing. So
Nice.
for Little Mermaid. And then so I had never seen Top Gun at all until this year. So
The
the
newest one?
both of them.
Oh, both
The
of them. Okay.
I finally sat down and watched the original Top Gun, and then right after the next day watched the second one. And I thought the second one was done so well, and then the ending was I thought it was just good. So I don't know how people feel about it, but I liked it. So I picked those two as my favorite movies, like new movies that I had never seen before. Like I can run through a list of movies that I've seen over and over again, but who wants to hear that?
Yeah.
So those are the two that are like could stick out in my head about my favorite movies. So Little
Nice.
Top Gun 2. So those
Nice.
are
I have not seen the new Little Mermaid. We have seen the original plenty of times in this house for sure. Um, and then yeah, Top Gun's an incredible movie. The newest one. I mean, they're both great, but the newest one is really amazing. And yeah, I actually just watched it the other day. But yeah, and I've always told people like there's certain things in movies that I just don't really care for, and I have a tough time getting into. Movies that take place on boats, like like at sea, a little tough for me. And then airplane movies,
Mm,
like fighter jets and
yeah.
like stuff like that, spaceships. I just don't really get into it. It's hard for me. That one though, like it broke all of that for me because obviously it was so well shot and everything just looked incredible. And it
Yeah.
felt like I know one of the big things about that movie because you were saying you don't know how everybody else felt. I think the box office proved that people love that movie because it made a lot of money. But that was one of those movies when it came out. I feel like it brought back, it's like we see so many movies now and you have everything at your disposal in your home and then you can go to the theater if you want. But I just feel like not all movies are special anymore. But that one, like you go to the theater and it's like you felt like you were like it was like a whole event, like a whole experience. Like it was pretty amazing. So I'm with you. I love that movie.
Yeah, it was good. I thought the storyline was good too and everything.
Yeah. And Tom Cruise does not age. That man just refuses
No, it's insane.
to age. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Excuse me. Um, so my I'm glad you chose two movies because I did the same thing. And these two are like 1A, 1B. And honestly, depending on the day, they could flip. The funny thing is, these are two animated movies. And these aren't even ones that my girls have seen. So these are just like my picks. It wasn't like I sat down like, oh, I guess I'm watching this kids movie with my daughters, which we enjoy here at my house. But these are like just two movies that I really enjoyed, and they haven't even seen it. And I wasn't watching them because they were into it. So probably the first time it's ever happened in my life. So one was Into the Spider-Verse, which is a Spider-Man movie. Incredible. Like, excuse me. It's a sequel to I'm sorry, Across the Spider-Verse, excuse me. Across the Spider-Verse is the one that I saw this year. Into the Spider-Verse was came out a few years before that. But it's just like somebody online before I saw it said it's like a work of art. And when you watch it, it's pretty, it's just like a beautiful movie. Like the illustration, everything that they do is just it could like each like shot could be captured and it could be something you put on your wall. Like it's really impressive. And the storyline's great, the whole thing. It's just super creative. So I appreciate that. Um, so I saw that a couple times in theaters because I have a problem. And then uh, the other one was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie, Mutant Mayhem. Again, the illustration and style of that was incredible, and it was super funny. Like it was a really fun movie, and I grew up with the Ninja Turtles, and so anytime that stuff comes out, like they've had some in the past that were like, okay, you bring it back, they kind of suck. They're not that great. This one was so funny, and I think I actually saw it with my sister because her and I both grew up loving the Turtles. And as I've mentioned on this podcast before, she's also a teacher, and
Mhm.
she teaches at the middle school level. And like I feel like the dialogue, like their understanding of the culture, understanding of teenagers. I at one point after the movie, I just looked at her, I'm like, did you when you were watching that movie, did you feel like you were like watching your students? And she's like 100%. Like they say dumb stuff just like that. They say stuff that they think is hilarious that no one else gets, but they're dying laughing. Like they just captured all that stuff really well, and it was super creative. So yeah, both of those I absolutely loved.
Nice. I'll have
Yeah.
to watch. I heard good. Someone else told me one time about the Spider-Man one, and then they're like, "Oh, it's animated," and I'm like, "What?" Like, okay, like, I haven't seen like I can't tell you the last time I watched like an animated like show or movie or whatever. So to me, it's like so foreign right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to hear the dialogue of the Ninja Turtles one, just because I work with high school kids, and I'm like, it's kind of the same. They're kind of the same, especially the boys. They don't really grow
Oh
out of
yeah.
that middle school phase
Oh
ever.
yeah.
So
And I think honestly, after seeing the movie, they are high school age. And
that's
so
yeah.
that's why I told Rachel, I said, and her and I watched it a couple months ago, and she said the same thing. She's like, yeah, this feels like,
Mm,
so, like, and it's a situation where like they're just like goofing around,
yeah.
and you're trying to get them back on track, but they're just like, you've lost them. Like whatever they're focused on, they're
So
so fascinated by, like you just can't get them back. And so yeah, they nailed just that whole thing. So yeah, I would imagine that it would ring true for you as well. Um, but yeah, so yeah, two animated movies. And like I said, if it was just animated, it'd be one thing, but like just so creative. People that put these movies together are super creative and talented. Um, like I said, for some of them, it's like you're watching like something like you're like watching moving art, which is pretty cool.
right.
You know, I don't know anything about animation, but to me, that's what it looks like. So
Nice. Cool.
yeah.
It's done. Nice. You want
All
to do the
right.
next?
So, I'm just gonna go with one of yours then.
Okay.
All right,
Good.
cool. So, favorite self-care activity. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm sure I've said this before. The term self-care I hate. So, self-love, self-care, I hate those terms, but I'm gonna play ball here because you put it out there. But I had to let people know that term, not what it means, not the idea of it, but that term I just hate. So, that being said, Happy New
Nope.
Year. And mine is pretty simple, and I think I probably should let you go first on this one. But um, for me, like, so I was trying to think of something that like makes me feel like most at peace,
Mm-hmm.
the relaxing time, the downtime, and for me personally, it's spending time with my family. I really do enjoy that. And like I was together with my family on Christmas, and just having everybody there joking, making fun of each other, just the whole thing, laughing, like that really is something that gives me life and gives me energy. So um I was trying to think of other things that I do. Like I said, it's not something that's to be honest with you, I mean, that's a bad thing. It's not really at the forefront of my mind. Plus, I'm a parent too, so I think things change a little bit in trying to figure out what those things are. So I was really trying to think, but I do think at the end of the day, um, for me, like I love spending time with my family and the people that I love. So
Yeah.
that would be it.
No, that's good. No, that's like, that's perfect. And some people think self-care or self-love, they're like, oh, taking a bath. And I think I've said that before, or like doing something that like you're just by yourself. And that could be it too. But that's another form because mine is very similar, like spending time with friends.
Sure.
Like if I could have a minute just to like go grab a beer. Um, I love when I love when I get a free moment just to kind of sit and do nothing because I can't hold still. So sometimes I force myself to just do that. But I also love when a friend would text me randomly like, "Hey, what are you doing right now? Do you want to go grab a beer, or do you want
Sure.
to so and so and so and so and I are going to go here to happy hour if you want to come." Like just little things like that where it's just kind of at the last minute. Really, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I need to like still keep in touch with my friends." And so because life can get busy, especially my friends with kids, like I've tried to try to remember to like don't forget about them, bring them out. So yeah, same. Spending time with friends. I'm trying to make it a point to either call my family more or see them more because they don't live here, so they
Sure.
live a few hours away in both directions. And then of course running. Running is like my ultimate by myself. I hate when it's raining because I don't want to run in the rain. I hate running inside on a treadmill. I think it defeats the purpose for me. But going for a jog is like also another form of like release and self-care for myself. So
I like it. I almost put that, but I decided to save it. Save it for something else.
well, that's going to go into another category as well. So
Oh,
for me,
perfect. Oh, you doubled down. I should have just done that.
kind of double dipped. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's good. I think that's a great self-care activity for anyone is just to spend time with people. So
Yeah, I agree.
um
Connectable.
yeah. Okay, so another category that you came up with was favorite new restaurant. I had to think really hard about this one just because I haven't been I had to like reflect back on the whole year and the year before that, or maybe 2 years before that, I don't know. I did a lot of traveling. I did a lot of like things. This past year, I didn't travel as much, at least with friends, just because I was finishing massage school. I was just, massage business, so a little busier on that aspect. So I'm like, where I like it took me a second. But I do remember, so I have two of them. So one of them is here in Sac and one of them's not here. So sorry. So there's a food truck in Sac called Senor Burger. I don't know if
Okay.
you
Oh,
it's so they parked it at Movement Brewing one time, or they go there a lot. And this was like a month or so ago. And their burgers are, I just remember eating their burger and being like, this is the most amazing burger I've had in a while. So
nice.
Senor Burger. So they're just a food truck. They just kind of go around Sac. They're on Instagram, so you can see where they're parked. But they go to breweries, and I think they go to parks and stuff. So anyway, if you like a good burger, that it's pretty good. Um, and then the other one is actually in San Diego, where I just went for New Year's. So if anyone ever is going to go to San Diego, but it's a restaurant called Costera, Coasterra.
Nice.
And it's got a beautiful view of like the harbor and like the ocean. Anyway, the food was amazing. It's a little fancier, but the food was amazing. And like everyone, the wait staff, the bartenders, everyone is like super nice and sociable. So they just have a really, I don't know, me and my girlfriends went and we were like, oh my God, I just want to stay here forever. This is an incredible, like fun, like restaurant. And the food was really, really good.
That's awesome.
We didn't even get any entrees. We just shared a few appetizers, and the appetizers were so like a good portion and like delicious. And then we were just like, that's all we needed. That was incredible. And we were full. And so so if anyone's ever in San Diego, Costera is a good one to go to if you're feeling fancy. So those are
Okay.
my two.
So, was it Senior Burger?
Yeah, Senor Burger. It's a food truck, and
Senior
that's
Burger and okay,
Costera.
Costera. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. It sounds delicious. It is we're recording a little bit earlier right now. So I am very hungry. So that those both of those both of those make me very hungry. Okay, so mine is a place that's in Folsom
Hmm.
and it's called The Melt.
Hmm.
And it's really good. It's a casual dining type place, but they have different kinds of grilled cheeses, burgers, patty melts, all those types of things. I've been there a couple times. I was there just a couple weeks ago, right before Christmas, and I had a patty melt, and it was delicious. So I've been there twice, both times this past year in 2023. So we kind of, I want to say they opened it up this past year. So, um, yeah, it's if I live closer, I would definitely be going there even more often. But yeah, it's really good. So if you're ever out at the Palladio in Folsom, I would recommend you make your way there because it's very tasty. So, and they're open late too, which didn't apply to me, but we noticed that last time. I think they were open until like 11 p.m. Um, which is kind of crazy because I feel like I don't know if anything else in that area is open, with the exception of maybe the movie theater that late. But um, yeah, definitely very tasty. I would recommend that for sure.
And when you say a patty melt, like a burger with like cheese, like a pressed
Yeah,
down kind of like.
yeah, kind of. I mean, it's on sour. I think it's on sourdough bread if I remember correctly. And it has like a thin patty with cheese, onions, a sauce on it. Yeah, the whole thing. It's really good. Check out
You're,
their menu because their menu is going to do a better job describing it than I am. So, yeah, go take a look. In fact, just go try it. It's delicious. So that'd be my place for sure.
nice. Are you getting
Yeah,
hungry? Are you getting hungrier the more I make you talk about it?
I'm so hungry right now. Yeah, my stomach's going to growl pretty soon. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, and there's a couple other places I'm not going to mention right now, but I would love to try in the new year. Just haven't had a chance yet. But a couple places that have popped up recently that would be maybe they'll be on my list next year. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? All right. So the second one that I'll put out there, which was again your suggestion, is favorite workout activity.
Mhm.
And I was thinking about that. I think running is always a weird one because, like I've said before, I don't necessarily enjoy running, but I can run. And so, and I'm not like the fastest in the world, but I can go for a decent distance. And so that's typically my go-to. And it's one that I feel after I do it, I feel good. I can listen to music, listen to podcasts. Um, again, that's why I could have kind of gone in the self-care section too, because I do feel like when I run, I'm usually I just have a clearer mindset, clearer mind, in general, just kind of get out there and untangle a bunch of stuff. Um, so that would probably be the one for me. Last year for Christmas, my wife and I just we didn't do gifts. We just together decided to buy a bench for our garage and then a set of like those Bowflex dumbbells that are adjustable. So I've been using those a time, which have been great. Not recently. They probably have a little dust on them, but over the course of 2023, they've been very helpful. Um, so that's been great. And then yeah, I still try to mix in the hit workouts every once in a while. In fact, there's one guy on Instagram. Excuse me, he's probably on Instagram, but I actually follow him on YouTube. His name's Bully Juice. He's this like this shredded guy. I've been doing some of his workouts, and so he has a lot of um, you know, depending on your time and depending on what you're trying to do, it's like hey, I have a 15-minute high intensity cardio workout, or hey, I have a 30-minute leg workout. He's got different things, different times, different variations. And so I'll do those every once in a while. And those have been great, kind of just like an easy guided workout, but definitely burning a lot of calories and sweating a lot when I do those workouts. Again, not recently. If I did one now, it would hurt. It wouldn't be a lot of fun. But actually I saw a workout I haven't had a chance to do yet, but I want to get your thoughts because you're the strength trainer in this group. I'm just the one that tries to do the workouts. So it was something, I forgot what it was called, something mile, it wasn't the deadliest mile. That was too intense. It was like the worst mile or the most insane mile. But basically the first round you do like a full, like almost like a broad jump.
Mhm.
And then this is on a track. So you do like a broad jump forward, right? That's just like 2 feet jumping forward, right?
Mhm. Okay.
Jump
Yeah.
forward, and then you do a burpee. And so you do that for one lap around a track. And then the next one
The
is
whole,
bear.
the whole time for a lap around the track, you do
Right,
a broad jump and then burpee, and you stand up and you do it again. You're inching your way around the track, basically.
right. For lap one. the second lap, and the order may be off, but you'll get the gist. The second lap is lunges. The third lap is
Wow.
bear crawls, and then the fourth lap is a jog. And the why I was telling Rachel, I said, I imagine at the end of it, you're just so thankful that you can just jog after all that other nonsense. So I haven't had a chance to do it yet. I would like to try. I may miss that week's podcast because I'd probably be out there forever. But I would like to give it a shot. But what do you think about that? That seems crazy, right?
That sounds like a military workout. That sounds like it would take forever. And like, it's like, don't do it as like your very first workout of the new year. That's all I have to say. You
Yeah,
won't be, you won't be able to walk for a week. I'd say work up to that.
I agree. How long do you think that would take? Like if someone was in uh not like not crazy shape, but like say they were in decent shape, they're used to working out, what would you say that would take? Like what would that take you?
Oh God, I don't know. Forever. I mean, like I feel like that is to do lunges all the way around it. I'm just because I'm out I look at a track almost every day, just like with my job being out there with my kids, and like to do a whole lap of just lunges around the track for your legs are gonna be on fire. Like I can't like just doing like how there's a straightaway on the track and then it curves and
Yeah.
then just doing it around the curve portion would just like kill me even. Like I'd have to shake my legs out. Like that's intense. Like for someone who's like decently in shape, they're still going to be sore for like a week.
Hmm.
Definitely if someone's just trying it out for the first time, probably won't even finish it. Like that's a lot.
Yeah, and if you're saying it would take you forever, mine would be forever in like 5 days because you're in better shape than me, and I could tell this would be like I said, I'm gonna try it at some point. Um, but it sounds brutal.
Yeah, that sounds not fun. I might try it one day, but
Okay. And I can tell you this, my form at a certain point, my form is going out the window. I can tell you that for a fact. I don't think I have the discipline to be like, this is gonna be a perfectly
no.
formed lunge every time. At a certain point, I'm gonna like bend my knee barely. It's like, that's close enough. Close
Right.
enough. Keep it
Right.
moving.
Yeah, that's intense.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll have to go back
I
and
would
find it. I
like
saved it.
I would do like I would like to do like a shortened version of it, like do the broad jumps and the burpees only on the curves and then jog the straightaway and then do the broad jumps and burpees only. Like that's probably like, and then do the lunges on the curves, jog or sprint even. You can throw
Sure.
like sprint in there to make it a little more difficult and then do lunges on the straight. Like I would do it that way. Like that other way just sounds god awful. Like I feel like you wouldn't even be able to pick your legs up to jog on the last lap.
Probably not. They probably just feel like you have like
Sounds
cement blocks.
terrible.
That's a great call. That's a great call though. If someone was looking for
Yeah.
a modified version.
I feel like that's like too intense to do all of that. Is that like something that someone made up and people are actually do? Is it like a challenge?
No, I don't think it's a challenge. It was like one of those explore page
Mm,
suggestions, and like I said, it was you could tell it was like at some track with a group of people that were probably in some kind of fitness group together or workout group together, probably like a CrossFit
yeah.
group, I would imagine. And yeah,
Yeah.
you just saw this a video of them doing this workout.
Yeah. I'm sure CrossFit people would do just fine.
Yeah, yeah. Me, no,
And I say that because I'm not into CrossFit.
I'm not either. So
Yeah. That's
yeah,
so
it'd be brutal, but I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. Now, that being said, I could be like misremembering this, or maybe I didn't read it carefully, and it's not at
yeah.
all what this is. I'm just giving them bad PR. But
Right.
um,
No. Well, and like the older I get, I feel I'm not into like kill yourself workouts anymore. I'm just into a I want to be sore tomorrow, definitely. And I want it to challenge myself. But like
sure,
these workouts that are like insane, like I just don't. But then again, what's the barometer, right? Because I run half marathons and some people are like, that's insane. And for me, I'm like, it's just like a jog, whatever. So it just depends, I guess, on who you're talking to. But I
yeah.
definitely not into
Well,
the challenges anymore.
yeah, and some of that stuff I do think is insane. Where like you see those videos of like these guys who are just jacked and they're doing pull-ups like while two of their workout buddies are hanging out their legs, and those guys are like curling stuff. It's like, what is happening right now? Like, why would you do this?
This is what they do for fun on a Saturday night. It's fine.
exactly. So not me, not me. So, so anyways, that was a sidetrack. But what's your workout activity?
So I play soccer. Yes, I've talked about that, but I was doing indoor for a while, but now I'm doing outdoor soccer. And
Oh,
I like
nice.
I like outdoor a lot better. So I thought it would be like more difficult or more boring, but I actually enjoy it a lot. I just feel it because indoor soccer is just like I mean, indoor is fun too, don't get me wrong, but it's just a non-stop sprinting the whole time. Like an outdoor, at least you can rest for a sec, catch your breath, and then keep going. It's still a lot of running because then you're sprinting for a longer period because it's a bigger field.
Sure.
But I've enjoyed that more. So just playing outdoor soccer has
What
been
po-
really fun workout.
what position?
They put me at forward or mid. It just depends on where they need me.
Okay, because you can run.
Yes, they don't care to have me back defending.
That's what I was a defender when I was playing soccer
Yeah.
through through seventh grade, and I was no, excuse me, eighth grade, and I was a defender because I was slow. They're like, we just need you to get in someone's way.
Yeah, so it's
Try not to score on our own goal.
yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. So I'm usually I go back and forth between forward and mid. So,
Okay, but you do
but
like the shin guards and everything, cleats, shin
oh
guards.
yeah, we have cleats, we have shin guards. Yeah, we have all of it. And same thing with indoor. We have turf shoes. It's not like out. The cleats are different with indoor and outdoor, but we still
Sure.
have shin guards for both of
Oh, they
them. And
do. Okay, I guess makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah, because these girls, I mean,
Aren't you one
that
of those girls?
sometimes.
I feel like that wasn't that your claim to fame on this team. That's like they wanted you to be kind of like the enforcer,
No.
like the hockey goon.
We run into each other, we kick each other, like not on purpose, like not, but just I don't, and I don't know about anybody else, but like it just, yeah, it can be brutal. Like, so yes, we have to have shin guards. If I could have a shin guard that goes from my feet all the way up to my neck, I would, because that's how brutal that game out there with those women can be. It's
You see Deb just walk out there with catcher's gear.
I
All right,
know.
play ball.
Girls like to run into me. So outdoor soccer, and then I also put down boxing and running. Obviously, I love boxing. I love hitting something. I love workouts that involve that I'm doing something or I'm focused, just because that's the athlete in me. Like I like to have like an end goal or a focus or something.
Sure.
Um, yeah. So I mean, boxing is always my favorite activity, but outdoor soccer has been fun too.
When are you gonna take a real fight?
A real fight? Oh, no. I like seriously, like I could
The
never
fact
hit.
that you said, well, hold on, that you said you don't know. Most
No, I
people
said,
be like,
oh
absolutely.
no, no, I said, oh no,
Oh no, they said I don't know. I'm like, well, that sounds like you're thinking about it.
no,
Let's not pretend. Okay, so oh no, gotcha.
no, I
The
could
joys
never,
of Zoom. Cut out a key piece of what Deb said.
no, I could never hit some. I mean, I'm sure I could if I had to, but like, I don't want to hit anybody.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
I'll put it this way: I'll hit someone for someone else, but I won't. If someone makes me mad, I won't hit someone. Like I don't care to do that. So like, I can't imagine being in a ring with someone and like, go kick her ass. Like, no, why? Like, I don't want to.
That would be fun.
I would just be giggling the whole time.
Until someone punched you, and then I wonder if that would change your mind.
I'm sure something in me would.
Sure.
So we'll talk later. Maybe I'll try it and then I'll let you know.
That'd be awesome. If you, here's the thing, if you did that, I don't even know how much it would cost. I don't know how much it would cost. But if you did that, I would pay for your like connectable boxing shorts. Like the teal, blue, and orange. Yeah, I would do that.
Okay.
You're not gonna get paid by us. It's we're not gonna, I mean, we're sponsoring you by like name only, but payment, no, not gonna happen.
Yeah,
You know.
I'll let you know if I ever decide to do that. So
Okay, sounds good.
those are my
What's your
uh
nickname? What would your nickname be? It can't be Ginger.
I
Maybe
don't
something
know.
different.
Yeah, you'll have to think of one for me.
All right, I'll think of something.
Have Jordan think of one for me.
Sure. Yeah, he'll think of something. You're probably not gonna like it, but he'll think of something.
I want want to hear it.
They're like the murdering mermaid.
Hey, that works
She'll
too.
drown you in blood. Yeah, something like that.
It's perfect.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's keep this thing moving.
You know, we talk so much. Before we hit record, we tried to say we'll keep it under an hour. I'm not sure that's going to happen. So, okay. Your last thing that your favorite new thing category was favorite new thing that you found this year, or a favorite new thing I found this year. And you said it could be anything.
Pretty much, yeah,
Um,
like something that you discovered,
yeah.
like something that you weren't aware of before, but this year you found something and you really enjoyed it.
So again, I have two things.
Okay.
uh, Not that I didn't know what this was, but I just didn't know how to do it or cared to try doing it because I love my Keurig, but French press coffee.
Oh, very
So
nice. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I know people love it. So that's pretty cool.
I do French press now. And it doesn't take that long actually. But yeah, so I'm trying to stay away from like the whole hot water and hot stuff in plastic type thing. And so that's what a Keurig is. It's like it's like a plastic cup. And then
Sure.
anyway, a lot of people are like, that's so bad for you. Whatever. I know everything can give you cancer these days. It's like you can't get away from it. But this summer I was on like a no toxic things kick. Like I was trying to see what I could do to eliminate some things. And so with French press, it's just like a glass cylinder, like a beaker, and then you put ground coffee in it, and then you pour hot water and you let it sit and stuff. So it's just like, okay, that's my way of not contributing to the whole plastic thing, I guess. I still have my Keurig, and I still have plastic K-cups for emergency purposes. So when I run out of whole coffee beans, I'm like, oh well, I gotta use my I use my Keurig until I go back to the store. So, but it's really good. It's the coffee is good that way too. So
That's awesome. I don't know why I just had this image of you making the coffee in the Keurig and then pouring it into your French press. Like, look what I did, guys. Just like kind of like sliding the Keurig cups away.
look here, I did it.
Yeah, I did. Yay. It's like this tastes like a lot like plastic. Don't worry about it.
Right?
Take
Yeah.
some time to get that out of your system. Okay, so very cool. French press. It's
And
very
then
fancy.
yeah, and then of course my massage therapy I discovered this year that I
Sure.
like. So anyway, those are again, I feel like I wasn't as adventurous this year with doing things. I feel like this year was very like I need to take care of business, and I'm going to school, and I'm just going to work, and then I'm going on a few trips here and there, but not really. But yeah, my massage business is new, and all that massage therapy world is new, so I really like it. Yeah.
Very nice. Cool. Mine is not like those things at all. So, and actually, I have two things I wasn't going to say. I was going to make a tough decision, but since you did two, I'm going to do two as well. It's our show. We can do whatever we want.
Mhm.
So okay, so the first one, I actually discovered these during the summer of this past year. It's a company called Suave Shoes, SUAV shoes, and I love these shoes, especially specifically during the winter, like or the summertime, because they're just like very like light. I don't think they're technically considered like a barefoot shoe, but like they are very thin on the bottom, and you can wear the shoes with or without socks, and they're just super comfortable. Like I've worn those, I wore those like all the time throughout the summer, and yeah, I love that company. Tried to get you guys as a podcast guest, but no one responded. So here we are. I get to talk about you, but also talk, I guess, poorly about you not getting back to me. So, but your product is great. And so, yeah, they have a bunch of different like styles and different types, but they're super simple. But yeah, I wore those like basically all summer, and they were awesome. So definitely shout out to Suave Shoes. Would highly recommend. So especially like I said, if you like prefer like a minimalist shoe, which is I've never really done before. So it was my first time kind of diving into that world, and it was great. Yeah.
Are they super?
Every once in a while you'll hit a rock like, ouch, that doesn't feel good. But for the most part, pretty comfortable, and you can avoid a lot of stuff.
Is it pretty? What's the price like?
Uh like about like it was like 90 to 100.
Okay.
So that's, the downside, that kind of expensive, especially for like it's not like a anything crazy. But for me, like I said, for me, I've definitely gotten my money's worth out of all of those. So I have a few different kinds, and yeah, they were great.
Sweet.
So not for running or anything like that, but just for like a casual
Yeah.
everyday shoe. Um, yeah, they've been great. And then yeah, I even did some workouts like in my garage with the shoes too, and they were really good. So
Nice. Cool.
yeah, so that's one. And the other one is a toy. So it's called Fozzie Football. And we just played this on Christmas and then played a little bit on New Year's. But it's basically like the simplest way to say it is it's like shuffleboard on a like a football type in a
Mhm.
football type setting. So, it scores the same as football, penalties, yardage, all the thing. I could sit here and explain it, but I'm not going to. But just basically, it's like shuffleboard with football, and it was so much fun. We had a great time with it. I loved playing with it. So anybody, if you're looking for just a fun party game, if you're looking for something just to bring, where people are a little competitive and you want to do something fun, this would be an awesome thing. So Fozzie football,
Aussie
yeah.
football. Did you get that? Was that like a Christmas gift and or activity that you guys did this year?
It was kind of like a gift to like my mom got one for the family,
Oh,
and she's
nice.
like, "Hey, this is gonna be at my house. This is for you guys. Enjoy." I'm like, "Oh, all right." And yeah, we played quite a bit.
Nice.
I took a
She's
lot of L's. I'll be honest. Took a lot of L's. Jordan's very good. Jordan's very good at that game. My aunt beat me a couple times. You know, I'm not saying I'm good at it because I'm not, but yeah. Speaking of which, the football thing, I actually won our fantasy football league this year. Yeah, I
I like
felt pretty good
how
about that.
if you guys are watching the YouTube video, Josh totally like postured when he said that. You're like, I actually
Yeah.
won.
Did you hear that, Deb?
Well, congratulations. And yeah, I won a few years ago. I won first, is all I have to say.
I can't. She did. She did win first. I can't deny that. I will say though, this time we did play for money. This
Oh,
was
you did.
money. Yeah.
That's why.
If you won the whole thing when we were playing for money, I don't think you would understand how upset I would have been. I'm like, she's like, what? I won X amount of money? Yeah, you did, Deb. Yeah, you did. So luckily it was just for bragging rights, which is bad enough. But if it would have been for money, that would have been awesome for you because you would have just basically lucked into, a nice little chunk of change. But unfortunately, you are not a part of our league anymore.
You guys probably wouldn't have even told me. You guys would have been like, just don't say anything. We'll get
What kind of monsters do you think we are? How dare you?
well, congrats, champion. How much money did you win? Or do you want to
I
say?
don't think I liked how you called me champion, but I'm going to let that slide because it felt a little bit disingenuous. Like, hey, good for you, champ. Like, but that was like you were calling me champ or, yeah.
The champion, not champ. Champ is passive aggressive. Champion, that's like a genuine congrats. Winner, what do you want me to call it? That's passive
I
aggressive
think
too.
we could just, I'm just saying I'm suspicious when you're like, hey, champion. Like, you know, it still felt passive aggressive, but, you know,
Just want to play the We Are the Champion song for you right now.
let's move on. Let's continue. All right. So the last one
Huh.
is again yours. It's favorite social activity.
Yes.
And I feel like when you sent it to me, you forgot who you podcast with. But I'm gonna answer that question anyways.
I know. I want to know because I purposefully want to know if you what your yeah, go ahead. That was for you. Mine's mine's easy because I don't hold still, but go. Podcast.
Mine's difficult because I'm not a super social person. I'm not a social
Aside,
butterfly like you.
aside from is it podcasting?
It's 100% podcasting.
I was like, Josh, what else is Josh gonna put besides podcasting?
I spend a lot of time with my family. I'm a homebody. Like when I say hi to somebody when I run, sometimes like, hey, how you doing? That's pretty much it. Like that's and, at the grocery store. I'm talking to. I mean, I don't do a whole lot. Like most of the stuff I do is kind of by myself. I mean, with either with family or people that I really enjoy being around, or but like it's not much. So when I saw this, I'm like, all right, well, the Deb was clearly not thinking about me. So yeah, it's podcasting. This is the most socializing I do. Which, outside of my family, I probably talk to you the most. So
Oh my God. I'm so
right.
sorry.
I know. I know. Let's let that sink in for a second.
You.
Which I know some people are like, it makes no sense. You would think someone who does a podcast would be more social. I am not. I like people, but I'm not like constantly seeking. We've talked about this before. Like if you I don't mind not being busy because I feel like I'm busy most of the time with other things. So if there's like a downtime, I appreciate my downtime. I don't need to fill that with other stuff. I'm like, no, I'm cool. I'll find something to do that I enjoy doing. But that being said, in all seriousness, yeah, my favorite podcast or my favorite social activity of 2023 is podcasting again. So yeah, I enjoy it. I love it. It's always fun, having the conversations that we do with either each other or with our guests. And it's
Yeah.
always cool to hear different people's, interests and excitement for things and their passions. Um, so yeah, it's a fun way to, in all seriousness, it is a fun way to socialize for me. And I get a ton of enjoyment out of it. That's why we are still doing it after 4 years. So, um, and like, I say this every year, but when you look at this guest of the year tournament that's currently going on, and you look at the bracket and you look at who we've talked to, it is just like a really interesting mix of people because their interests and passions and the things that they have insight and experience with are so different in so many ways, and their personalities are different. So it's just cool that when you look at that as like the totality of this podcast, we've had roughly 32 conversations with 32 different people, all very different backgrounds. And it's a cool thing, like when you lay it out like that. So um yeah, podcasting. Thank you for
There we go.
asking. What's yours?
Aside from podcasting,
Which,
mine
okay, hold on. Let's be honest. Where would that really rank on your list? I can't imagine it's that
podcasting,
high.
it wouldn't no podcasting for me, it wouldn't be under the social activity column. It would be under like
Obligations,
no,
things I'm trying to get
no.
out of. How do I do an Irish exit on a podcast? I mean, that's fine.
Socializing with Josh. That's the category it's under.
Community service.
Is there-
It's like my
Put him-
kind act, like I'm gonna talk to this idiot for an hour every week.
You're welcome.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I know. I know. I podcasting would be under like hobbies for me
Okay.
and social activity. So I just started this year line dancing and going to specifically Stoney's. It's a country bar, um, like up towards Natomas, kind of, but in
Sure.
Sac.
I've heard.
Line dancing has been my new favorite social activity. I'm like
Interesting.
obsessed with it. It's really fun. And the
Okay.
people are really cool. Like it's a different bar scene. Like in my experience, like and I don't mind going to like midtown or downtown sometimes and like, bar hopping or whatever. It's just different. It's like my experience with doing bar hopping that way and just like a DJ and there's like a mix, and dancing that way,
Sure.
whatever. That can be fun, but like it's also like people get way too drunk. I have guys talking to me that I don't want to talk. I don't want them talking to me. I'm here with my friends. Like just
Why
that
didn't
kind
you
of
lead to that? I would,
huh?
excuse me. Oh, I'm playing hurt right now. I can't get my stuff out. Okay. I would love to have a conversation with you about that sometime because I can't even imagine what that would be like. How many, everybody wears cowboy hats?
At the at line dancing.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but no, but I was gonna say my experience with line dancing and that bar is not what I just described. So the line, like at Stoney's, and I'm saying Stoney's because that's where I go because I don't know any other line dancing bar in Sacramento, but
I don't know.
everyone's just cool. Everyone just wants to do the dances and then you just grab a beer. No one has like, I've never had a bad experience there. Like no one really bothers you. Like people are nice there.
Sure.
They're all drunk or whatever. Everyone's just cool. Like they just want to go. Everyone's just excited to dance. And they'll sit and there's like a big square dance floor and there's like a bar seat on the edge of the dance floor. I usually try to grab that spot. That way I can jump on the dance floor quickly. So people are talking or either watching people dancing or jumping into the dance. Yeah, it's fun. It's just a fun place. So I
It's
like
awesome.
going there rather than an actual like bar because that's where stuff gets annoying.
No, yeah, no, I get that. So, because I guess what I was saying is, so obviously at Stoney's, cowboy hats is like a standard thing,
Yeah,
right?
I wear my boots. Yeah, people wear
Okay.
boots and hats.
Now,
That's it.
I imagine if somebody at the other bars where you have problems, if someone was wearing a cowboy hat, it would have a very different feel to it.
Maybe.
Or that would that be weird? Or do you see cowboy hats out there? Because I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like the hat adds a different element when you're at
Yeah.
a place
I
where you're
mean,
doing line dancing. It's like,
right.
yeah, this seems fun. If you see some dude come up to you and try to hit on you at a regular bar with a cowboy hat, I'm like, what are we doing here? This guy's watched too much Yellowstone.
Right. Right. There's not, yeah, it would be different.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Like I said, I'm off a little bit. That none of that came out cleanly, but go ahead.
No,
Wait,
no.
okay. So what's your go-to or not go-to, but what's your favorite song to dance to?
For line dancing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't care about regular dancing. Just line dancing right now.
I can say regular song.
Well, maybe, I don't know. But
So,
no, people have said on this podcast that watching you dance is hard. I'm not a good dancer at all, but like I think Nicole said that they make fun of you. Is that right?
well, that's when I freestyle. Yeah, you don't want to watch me
Okay. What
style.
okay, so what's the
So this
freestyle
is like a
dance song?
choreographed, like 4 wall or 2 wall or whatever. So I
Sure.
didn't dances I didn't make up. That's why. No, I don't think Nicole has seen me line dance yet either. So she can't. No comment. She can't comment on that yet.
She'd
But
probably be very impressed.
yeah, I
Yeah.
like doing a dance called the Honky Tonk Way, and it's to a song called I forget who it's by, but it's by a song called Icy Country. It's just super fun. It's super complex. I had to YouTube how to do it and how to like it's yeah, but it's fun. I like it.
Nice.
Electric slide is super easy. That could be to any beat.
Sure.
Um, I like Ain't Too Cool. That's a fun one. I try like so what I do is I watch people, I watch like the DJ will call the dances out like a few seconds before the next song comes out so people know what dance is coming up. And I always see the fun looking ones. Like I just want to dance to that so bad, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing. If I go out there, I'm not going to do that. So I just kind of watch and I literally will take notes in my phone, like what the dance is called or like what music is playing to, and I'll try to find it on YouTube. The thing is that not all of them are exactly the same. So Stonies might do a different turn, like just something
Hmm.
like a little. So I taught myself it, but then when I go to Stonies, that might be one of the walls might be slightly different. So I just have to learn how they do it. So I do it correctly with them. So they always like put their own twist on it. So they do
Interesting.
they do dance lessons almost every night before like the dances start, but you don't get to pick what like they just kind of randomly teach you some of them and they don't teach all of the popular ones.
Okay.
So the ones I want to learn because they look like the most fun. Anyway, blah blah blah. That's my new favorite social thing to do this year is line dancing. It's so fun.
Very nice. Cool. There you go. Very, very,
What have
our
you
lists are
done?
very different, but I think both solid.
Both solid.
Both
Yeah,
solid.
good wrap for 2023.
I think so. Um, so before we get out of here, one thing that we kind of just mentioned before, and I'm going to have you mention it again if you don't mind. Your word for 2024. Last time we did this episode in 2023, you mentioned that you like to pick a word for the year.
Mhm.
And so do you want to share with everybody what your word is?
Yeah. So I had to ask one of my friends, I'm like, what was my word again? Because I had shared it on I had the episode with Kaylin
Yeah.
and Deb was the co-host, and I had to ask her because I didn't go back and listen to it and try to find it. But she's like, didn't you say freedom? And I'm like, I did say freedom. I think that was the word.
It
And
was.
it's
Yeah.
so
So we were on the same page. Yeah.
okay, so yeah, so my word is freedom. And when my other friends asked me why that word, and a part of me was like, I don't know. It just sounds like it. It just sounds like I need to focus on that this year. And more. I mean, I do what I want anyway, so it's not like I'm not free to do what I want. But I feel like there's still some inner work that I can do. Blah blah blah, self care stuff, like mentally, like things that I can work on to just give my mind the freedom to basically just continue being myself and just yeah. So I don't know, I'm not quite sure exactly what else that word is going to bring up for me, but it's freedom.
Okay. Perfect. There you go.
Yeah.
Very nice. Uh,
If you
cool.
were to pick a word, what would your word be?
What did I pick last time? I don't think I came up with a word. I think I picked
You just did like a phrase, or you just kind of
was,
said a
oh,
sentence.
excuse me. It was just can appreciating the moments that
Oh yeah.
that you
Okay.
have. Um and yeah, like I think I said then with especially with kids, and I think watching them grow up, it's one of the most exciting things and one of the coolest things you get to see. But then I also, it's a really challenging thing too, because the time it makes you realize how quickly the time goes, how fast the time goes, and it starts putting almost like a marker uh
Mhm.
on life. You know what I mean? Like it's very clear like how quickly life goes and how quickly you move through things and how quickly you can miss things. Um, if you get wrapped up in everything else and you get wrapped up in the stuff that is not meaningful to you, right? Like we get busy with everyday life. And then before you know it, I've even felt it like at the end of the week. You look back, it's like, dang, this week went by fast and I feel like it's already over. And then I'm getting ready to start the next week. And so there's a lot of times where you can sit there, and if you're not careful and if you don't appreciate the moments, and obviously you're not gonna, I don't think it's realistic to say I'm gonna appreciate every single moment of every single day because we do get busy. But I think having that mindset of appreciation for the moments that you have with the people that you love is huge, because I think there's nothing worse, at least for me, there's nothing worse than feeling regret for those moments when you feel like you miss something that was in your control not to miss. I think for me, there is nothing that eats away at me more than that feeling. And so trying to eliminate that feeling. And I think I do, if I like, again, if I'm looking at specifically being a parent and a husband with my family, I feel like I do a pretty good job with that. And so I do feel like that's something that I do. But even then, there's still moments where you're like, man, I wish I would have done more here, or I wish. And there's part of me is like, I've just accepted the fact that this might just be my life now. Like where, you know what I'm saying? It sounds like a kind of like a depressing thought, but like it might just be my life where it's like I love these things so much. I love these people so much that no matter how much time you have, you're always going to wish you had more time. And it's like, so at the end of the day, you just have to appreciate all of it, because, it does go by quickly. So not to end that thing on a downer, but it's not meant to be a downer. It's meant to be, for me and hopefully anybody who's listening to this, something that it makes you think a little bit like, I think appreciating moments and not getting wrapped up in a bunch of stuff that is not meaningful for stuff, and sacrificing stuff that is huge. So, for me, that's just really important. So we'll continue to do that in 2024.
Perfect.
I feel like it all sounded way more dramatic because of my voice. It's like a movie trailer. Um, excuse me. So, all that being said, this is the start of 2024. However, Deb and I have been talking for a little while, and we're going to take a little bit of a break from the podcast. So this will be our last podcast until sometime in February. I don't know. I don't have the exact date all with me right now, but maybe like a week or two in February, we will come back. This is not one of those situations where we say, "Hey, well, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back, and then you never see us again." We're not going to do that. So, but we just like to, because we want to be respectful of everybody who listens and supports the show, either through social media or through downloading the podcast on your favorite podcast app or YouTube. We like to let people know so that we don't just ghost everybody, right? And so, and really for no other reason other than I think it's like I keep telling people, for me, it's a self-imposed break. I could do this every week. I could keep pushing it. But I do think for me personally, you and I really haven't missed maybe a handful of times over the last 4 years. So just taking a break from the editing, taking a break from the posting and the scheduling and the whole thing, resetting. Deb and I are going to kind of reevaluate a couple of things and looking forward to see what we can do better, because that's the other thing about this too. And I think you and I talked about this. As much as we love this and as much as we know we're not the best, but we feel like we're pretty good at this. And so that being said, we never want to get into a place where it's just like we're complacent and we're just kind of riding the wave, and wherever we want to make sure that we're doing the very best that we can. and connecting with people in the best way possible. And so we're going to kind of reevaluate and maybe change a couple things here and there. But really, it's a self-imposed break for myself. And Deb was kind enough to say, "Cool." And so, yeah, that's all it is. So we will be back in February, but we at least wanted to give you guys a heads up and let you know kind of what we're doing. So, yeah, I don't know if you have anything else to add to that, Deb, but
Yeah, no, we'll see you guys in February. I'm thinking of the Titanic scene.
geez, what? This is not the type. Oh my gosh.
When Rose is like, I'll never let go. But then she lets him go. And I don't know why I was thinking of that scene when you were like, we're gonna come back. We're not gonna. And I was thinking, I'll never let go, Jack.
Man, I see where you're going with it. I understand. Um, I
That's
just I
all,
didn't
literally, I don't know why, but that's all I can think about. I was just trying so hard not to giggle. So I just got sorry, I had to get out of my
it was more so the pause. This really makes me think about the Titanic. I'm like, and just stopped right there. I'm like, oh geez. All right. Well, this ship's not sinking. We'll find a we'll find a lifeboat and we'll make it back. At least one of us will. So, all
Oh,
right. That's probably a good way to end this thing. So,
great way.
all right. I shouldn't have asked. I should have just ended on what I said and just said, let's get out of here. But
You asked my input. There was my input.
I passed the ball. That felt like I passed you the ball, but instead of you shooting towards the hoop, you just chucked it into the stands. Like, screw this ball, just threw it. I'm like, all right. Well, thought we were trying to score, but maybe not. Okay. So, Deb, let's try to bring this thing back. Where can they follow us on social media and all those things?
You guys can follow us on Twitter at Connectable Pod, and every other social media platform you can find is at Connectable Podcast.
Yep. And then make sure you follow us on your favorite podcast app, subscribe. Same thing on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you would be so kind, please leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We would greatly appreciate it. So, thank you guys so much. We hope you guys had a very happy new year. We hope you guys have an even better 2024. And we will see you back in February with a brand new episode. So, see y'all.
Bye.
Thanks for watching the show. If you enjoyed that episode, make sure you like it, share it, and hit the subscribe button to get a new episode every week. We'll see you next time on the Connectable Podcast.